Okay, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff about people making belts, different championship belts. I know people want to make a lot of custom design belts. A lot of what I've got, I love belts in general, so I have a lot of different belts, a lot of different federations. This is the original championship belt from Ring of Honor. This is pretty much a cheap wall hang. It's something relatively easy to make. The materials is not very expensive. I usually start by taking and drawing out a pattern. This is actually the pattern for the UWF championship belt, the Universal Wrestling Federation, which this belt is made after that title. So really all I had to do was change the center letters. I usually go from that to my poster board and do my cutout for my poster board, and this helps to make your raised areas, to make the belt look a little more defined, to make it look a little bit more realistic. And after I have my artwork down, have this cut out, I use this foam board, which you can pick up from Walmart, Dollar Tree, a lot of different places. But this will give you your thickness. So you just basically cut out what you want, put it over your foam board. That gives you your raised areas. I see a lot of people on YouTube that's doing videos like this. They use duct tape, and there's some duct tape out there that's gold and reflective and those type things. This is a little bit stronger tape. It's actually made for doing duct work for your metal ducts. This is what it is. It's actually aluminum tape, and it has a backing that keeps it from sticking to itself, because once it sticks to itself, it's pretty much stuck. I usually take, and after I've got everything laid out, I'll cover it with the aluminum tape. Then you can take a pencil or a ballpoint pen and come in and do your fine lines and really get your tape seated in like it needs to be. I prefer a ballpoint pen. If you use a sharp pencil, it most likely is going to go through. If you use a ballpoint pen, especially if you can find one that doesn't have any ink left in it, it gives it a better line, makes everything look a little bit more uniform. And from there I go through and do my colors with a Sharpie. The red in this is faded a lot. It's kind of an old belt. So you don't really need any paint or a whole lot of messy stuff, especially for younger people that want to do this and show their talent, show their artwork. It's a whole lot easier to do things this way. Usually you can buy the materials to make this belt, and you can probably make 4 or 5 different belts for around 20 bucks. The tape is going to be your most expensive thing. It usually runs anywhere from about 8 to 15 bucks. But this roll right here it'll probably make 10 belts easy. Then usually what I do is I use a piece of poster board for the belt. You can pick poster board up most any color you want. I know a lot of people like red straps and blue straps, but I'm more partial to the black ones myself. And it's put on with these pins, and actually all it is is just a spread pin. You just push it through, spread it, it stays. You can actually see with this particular belt the foam board backing, and then it's got the tape over it. I usually try to make sure I go well over my edges, and that's pretty much the way I started doing belts. And like I said, they're just cheap wall hangs. It's nothing really expensive. You can usually make a belt like this in 3 or 4 hours. I went from that, I wanted to make something a little bit more realistic, heavyweight looking. So we came to this, and this is aluminum. It's actually made out of an old road sign that I bought from a flea market. You can pick up different things to make them out of. I like the aluminum because it's thick, it's heavy, gives it more of a real championship belt feel than a lot of things. Years ago, I made some out of what is called a kick plate for a door. You can buy it at Lowe's. It comes in mirror polished brass. That's a little bit more expensive way to go than what this would be. You can usually pick up a road sign, 15-20 bucks, and probably make 2 or 3 belts out of it. With the brass that you buy, you're probably not going to get but 1 belt out of it, and it's going to run you probably about $50. This is actually an old piece that I had that I made years ago. It's engraved the same way I do these, with a Dremel tool. And the thing about it is, the brass, which I should have showed you, the brass is flimsy. It's got a bend to it, because I mean, it's not a very thick piece of brass compared to the thickness of this. I mean, this is a pretty thick piece of aluminum. You ain't gonna bend it easy. But usually what I do is I lay down my design the same way I would with one of those, with the other belts. But actually what you do is, after you get your center plate drawn out, put this over, trace it out with a Sharpie, engrave it, paint it the way you want it. This belt right here is one of the first ones I made out of aluminum. It has, each one of these sections is a different piece of aluminum. I done it that way because I had these plastic rubies, and I actually wanted to put them behind the banners, and they're actually put between the bottom part of the plate and the banner. These right here just come through the bottom part of the center plate. My strap is made out of what is actually called a grill mat. You can pick them up at different places, usually hardware stores, Academy of Sports. Usually any place that sells grills is going to have a grill mat. This particular grill mat, I've got a scrap piece. It's pretty thick. It makes the belt have a lot more weight to it. Between the weight of the mat and the weight of the aluminum, it's a pretty good sturdy belt. The last stuff that I bought was from Academy. It's a little bit thinner, but it's still a good tough material. I think I've got 3 or 4 belts made out of this. You can usually get anywhere from 3 to 4 belts out of a piece, or your straps out of a piece of one piece of grill mat. Your grill mat probably gonna run you about $30 for a piece of grill mat. So you're looking at about $10 a strap, which is not terribly expensive. Then you can pick up your snaps. You can pick them up from Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any places that sells stuff for leather or anything like that. You can be as creative as you want to be with these belts. This is not the way the original belt looked. The original belt actually looked more like this. It had Ring of Honor Wrestling Champion. I just changed it to put World Champion on it because later on the belt actually became a World Championship belt for the next design. But I just want to give people a little bit different look at things, and instead of a lot of the stuff that I've seen on YouTube. And I'm not knocking anybody, because everybody's got a different way of doing things. I'm not saying mine's the best or better than anybody else's. I just wanted to give people a different perspective, a different way to look, and different things that you can find. Like I said, the aluminum come from a flea market. The stones came from it was either Dollar General or Dollar Tree. The strap is a grill mat. I mean, there's no limitation on what you can do. It's just what you can find. I just want to let people know that I'm gonna try to do some more videos later on and go a little bit more in depth with what I do and how I do it. I just wanted to kind of break the ice with a video and see what kind of feedback I get from it, and just see where it goes. I just want to thank you for watching, and see you soon.